Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
Exciting news, Fever fans. We are coming to Iowa City. We are thrilled to announce that the Indiana Fever will face off against the Brazilian national team in a preseason exhibition at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Caitlin Clark makes her return home to the University of Iowa on May 4th.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another Livewire Sports Media. As you have seen in that intro right there, the Indiana Fever will be on stage in preseason to play it against the Brazil national team. Now, this is something really special that I love and I like, because the fact of the matter is now you're taking the WNBA's biggest star and putting her against an international team, which Damaris Dantas, who plays for the Fever, also played for the Brazilian team. Now, there was rumor that I do believe that the Brazilian team is looking to try to add an American player to his team, and the quote-unquote name is Kennedy Carter. Now, I don't know how that is going to shape up or take place, but we'll see, because Kennedy is playing for China right now, so I don't know how that'll take out. But they also talked about trying to add American player, because Dantas plays for the Fever, so she most likely will be playing against her Brazilian team. But nevertheless, this is something special. This is something really, really, I think the WNBA is tapping into. And I think also Adam Silver is behind this, because he's been advocating for more international players. If you look what Major League Baseball is doing, how they play their international games, even in the spring, you look at the NFL, how they have crossed over playing international now, playing over. They're not playing other teams, but they're playing overseas, and as well as playing like in places like London, Germany, Mexico, and all of that stuff like that. So this is, and you got to believe that in the near future, you're going to probably see more of this happening. And like I said, when you got Caitlin Clark as the biggest star in the league in women's sports, you want to have the Indiana Fever tapped in and everything. Because look at it. They already talked about crowning the Indiana Fever as America's team, which I love it, And also, I think you could do this with other stars like Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, probably the Liberty, who just won a national championship. I mean, not a national championship, but a WNBA championship. You could showcase them as well. And then you got young stars that's coming, like a Juju Watkins soon. Then you got Paige Beckers. Then you got a Hannah Doggo and Olivia Miles. So with all of that being said and done, that is something really profound. Now, this young lady that I pulled up on X, she broke it down, and this was kind of old, I think a year ago or so, but just look how things come to fruition when you trying to grow the game.
The smartest thing that the Aces did was do their preseason game in Colombia. Smart. Every team should do that. If you have one of the top players in the NCAA on your roster, I am doing a preseason game at your alma mater. Indiana needs to go have a game at Iowa. Already. They need to, immediately. They should already have it in the books. Wherever Paige goes, they need to go have a game at UConn. Like, if you are a household name at your university, like an Asia Wilson or a Paige Beckers or Caitlin Clark or even Angel Reese at LSU. Baby, I'm doing one of my early games there. It's smart. That's where there was a big conversation about what is one of the issues with the WNBA. Someone was saying just a lot in terms of why is it so popular in college versus WNBA, and someone was like, retention of your fan bases. Well, this is just giving us an opportunity to solve that problem if we're really thinking about it. In college, fans are supporting their alma maters, whatever. They have loyalties to these teams. Well, at least now we're introducing them and giving them an opportunity to support the WNBA teams and their faves that they already have these relationships with. They're thinking small. They got to be thinking big.
Exactly. I totally agree with her because like she mentioned, the Aces did it. And when you have stars, your biggest stars, and especially in terms of talking about growing the women's game, growing the WNBA, this is one of the reasons how you grow the game. This is how you really focus on and tapping into a new economical market. Caitlin Clark is her own economical market by herself. Angel Reese is her own economical market by herself. So you want to continue to showcase other women. Like I said, you got Paige coming out this year. Have a preseason game. Whoever she drafts to the Dallas Wings or whoever, play a preseason game at UConn. Bring them fans back. Give back. Because if you look at what these college players such as Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has done, they brought their fan base to the W. The W didn't have that until these young ladies, the Cam Brinks, the Rickea Jacksons, they didn't have that. The Camila Cardoza, who played at South Carolina. South Carolina is one of the biggest college women's teams in women's basketball right now, along with UConn, along with Notre Dame right now. Then you got UCLA with Laura Betts over there. You got USC with Juju Watkins over there. This is how you continue to grow the game and continue to also spike new viewership. If you continue to do that, the game will grow without the negativity that's imploded. Now, as for Caitlin Clark, this is going to be phenomenal for the Indiana Fever. You know why? Because the fact of the matter is that, hey, the Indiana Fever is returning back to, not the Indiana Fever, but Caitlin Clark is returning back to her college, Alabama. Already Sunday, she's getting her jersey retired. So that's going to be even big. Then you got to think again that playing a preseason game is going to showcase even higher. That arena is going to be so packed. The only thing I wish they had did is when Caitlin Clark had played in the football field. They had the stadium put outside in the football field. I would have did that. That would have been, record breaking and epic. So Chloe Peterson, who writes for the Indy Star, she went on to say that, oh, my head itches. She went on to say that the Indiana Fever will play a preseason game against the Brazil national team at University of Iowa on May 4th. Caitlin Clark will play at Carver Hawkeye Arena once again. The WNBA Rookie of the Year and Fever will face Brazilian team. The Indiana Fever today announced an exciting addition to their preseason schedule, a game at the University of Iowa on May 4th at 6 p.m. against the Brazilian national team. For the first time in franchise history, the Indiana Fever will take the court at Carver Hawkeye Arena, known for its electric atmosphere and winning moments. From the number 1 draft pick to the former Hawkeye Caitlin Clark, the Fever, Damaris Dantas of Brazil, will also face a familiar matchup as she previously played for the Brazilian national team in 2016 and 2012 during the Summer Olympics. So, like I said, Damaris Dantas, she's, and the thing about it is, she knows that team very well. They're very skilled. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be exciting. It's a preseason game. You already know that. And also, I think the tickets are going on sale through Indiana. I mean, not Indiana, but the Our Hawkeye website. So, and by speaking of that, from what I have pulled up, this looks like it's by already sold out. And that's crazy right there already. If you look at it, and this is from the highest I see so far is says 1,000, then it's 800, and then it's 667, and it's already looked like it's about sold out. So just imagine what it's going to be like. Just imagine what that atmosphere is going to be like. Just imagine how loud it's going to be. And you know Lisa Bluter, you know Jen Jensen, you know all our Hawkeye team is going to be there. If they not play, well, this season will be over because March Madness will be gone. You know all of them will be there. Hannah Stokely, Gabby, Marshall, all of them, Lucy Olsen, all of them, they all going to be there. They all going to be in attendance. That's going to be something special to see. And I can't. Now, another side note too is that look at what Caitlin Clark did while she was at Iowa when it came down to attendance. Now, Iowa has sold out every opponent arena this season during the time she was there, tallying a 145% increase in attendance when Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes came in town. Don't that sound familiar to you? Don't that sound very similar and familiar to you? Caitlin Clark moved on to the WNBA, and guess what? The same thing. Sold out every arena, sold out every home game. So this not going to be this just going to be another exception to understand why Caitlin Clark is the needle mover. She is the needle. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this here is that I think it's going to be electric. I think it's going to be astronomical. And I think that WNBA has to capitalize more. If they want to continue to grow the game in the right way, you guys to make sure that you tap into your stars. It's nothing to showcase other women, but when you have the biggest star in your league, you got to take advantage of that. Caitlin Clark doing the Indiana Fever, not knowing what the rest of their roster going to be like, but you should have had them playing against somebody, French team or Brazil. They are playing Brazilian team. They should be playing against another team, you know. And maybe this is something that's going to happen every year now. Maybe they might have a preseason game overseas next year. They might have an in-season game overseas this year. We don't know. Well, I mean, another preseason game next year, but an in-season game playing overseas will be, it will be the top of the top. You got to showcase players. You got to grow the women's league. This is how you get your league to grow. I mean, even though you're being subsidized by by the NBA, but at the same time, you have to really understand and focus how money moves in the economy, especially when it comes down to sports. Like I just illustrated earlier, the NFL is doing it. Major League Baseball is doing it. Soccer is doing it. Soccer got teams in the U.S. and there's teams overseas. Why not the WNBA? The NBA do it. They just was over to Paris. They just played in Paris. So you have to capitalize on everything. Like I said before, if David Stern was living, the WNBA would have been light years ahead of the schedule. But like I said, that's a topic of why for another day. But the Indiana Fever is coming to your town. You better get your tickets because now that they are bigger than life than they are last year, tickets going to be selling like crazy. And if you don't get your ticket, you're going to miss out. Imagine what it's going to be like All-Star Weekend. So, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell anytime I drop a hardcore video. Until the next episode, Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.